The Washington Post. Bill Gates at the Munich Security Conference says that bioterrorism could be more deadly than nuclear war. Preppers, get your gas masks ready. This is Throttle Up Prepper. What's up? Throttle Up Prepper. How are you? Listen, the Washington Post just ran an article this past Saturday, I believe. Bill Gates spoke at the Munich Security Conference and said that bioterrorism was more likely, it could be more deadly than nuclear war. Preppers, you got your gas masks? That's hard to say. Do you have your gas masks ready? No, I don't have. Anyway, I won't get into that. Don't want to offend anybody, but holy moly, I need some coffee. So listen, we're all part of a prepper community. We get ready for any eventuality, and a thought had crossed my mind about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now. I decided to make a purchase. You could probably already guess what it is. And interestingly enough, it arrived on Tuesday of this week, just 2 days ago. And the cool thing is, I had seen on Facebook where the evangelist Franklin Graham, son of Billy Graham, had posted on Facebook a link to that Washington Post article, which I will be kind enough to add the link to the description below so you can go and read it for yourself. So it's not just nutty blind Jeff trying to spook you and send you rushing to make purchases. Not my intent at all. I'm all about reality. I'm all about, being reasonable. We don't need to do things in fear and panic. But bioterrorism is a real thing, and Franklin Graham had talked about, I believe it was a year and a half, 2 years ago now, when the doctors in Liberia that were over with his group, Samaritan's Purse, I believe is the name of the organization. They were helping people, and the doctor and some others had contracted Ebola, or what do they call it? The bleeding hemorrhaging fever. I don't know. It's whatever it is, you don't want it. So he had seen firsthand the results of what can happen in a pandemic situation. Talk about the zombie apocalypse. Holy cow. That sounds about as close to it in reality as any of us will ever get, prayerfully. Some of the things, I think he narrowed down, and again, you can check the article for yourself. He talked about three of the top potential diseases, if you will, that could be weaponized, Ebola being one of them, the plague being another, and of course, anthrax. And I'm not talking about that crazy metal band. I'm talking about the actual biological thing. Not to mention, a dirty bomb. There's all kinds of potential for terrorists to not necessarily, kill 1 million people with a single blast. I don't know that that'll ever be the case, not in our lifetimes, hopefully. But certainly, Bill Gates painted a rather bleak picture of what could happen. What if they could weaponize a flu virus and get a strain that spreads quickly and kills quickly? Think about that. Before the CDC can mount a response, before the military from the United States or any other NATO or other nation could mount a response, thousands, tens of thousands could be dead. So what are we going to do about it? Well, I don't know about you, but I know what I'm going to do about it and what I've already done about it. I stuck my toe in the water and checked it out to make sure it was fine. I got what every good Israeli citizen has at their disposal for obvious reasons. They face chemical and biological terrorism threats. on a regular basis. And everyone has a civilian Israeli gas mask. Now, these babies, I was a little skeptical. They have them available on Amazon.com, all kinds of websites. And when I say I eased into this and dipped my toe in the water, I was concerned. I don't know what's a scam, what's not. There's all kinds of horror stories on the net about buying new masks that smell like, tear gas and clearly have been used and, whatnot. Anyway, I like the Israelis. Go Israel. Anyway, my motto is, if it's good enough for the Israelis, if it's good enough for the IDF, it's probably good enough for us, if you can get it. Anyway, so I wanted to check this company out because I wasn't familiar, and I'll put a link in the description. It's not an Amazon affiliate link. It's not any affiliate link at all. Off the top of my head, I can't even remember the name of the company. I'm going to have to look it up. That's why I wanted to order one to make sure. And they're amazingly cheap. An adult size, which this is $24.92, I believe. Just under $25. And shipping, UPS Ground, the cheap way from Los Angeles, it took me about a week to get it, was an additional $12. And it came with, I will show you, the hydration hose, sealed up, not used. So, you can hook it in, and I'll show you in a minute where it hooks in, and you can put it into a canteen, or they actually sell the water bottles. I didn't get one yet because, again, I'm cautious and a freak that way. But I probably will order one anyway. And then it came with this, a standard 40 millimeter, refers to the size of the, the threading, I think. NBC. No, not the National Broadcasting Company. This is nuclear, biological, and chemical NATO 40 millimeter filter. Brand new. It's sealed on the top. It's, safety sealed for your protection. I'm not going to open it. I'm not going to try it. But, I was kind of goofy. I was talking to my wife, and I said, gee, I wonder if these filters will filter out Ebola or anthrax. And then I stopped for a second and realized, hey, that's what the B in biological is. So, will this guarantee your safety? I never look at guarantees, but, it much safer. I'm going to model this, if you don't mind. Pardon the hair. Ah! If I can even put it on. So, here you go. Now I got my thumbnail. Whoop, whoop. Obviously, that goes there. But you probably can't hear me, so I'll take that off. I always thought and dreamed about a modeling career, but let's put it to you this way. I got a face for radio, so the modeling ain't happening. But anyway, they also sell, so this, everything I showed you, shipping, everything included, was $36. That is ridiculously cheap money for the peace of mind that having something like this can afford. And yes, at best I can tell, this thing is brand new all the way, never used. I had it on for about a half an hour yesterday, walking around like a goof in the house. When I took it off, I had red marks all over my face from the seal. I don't know if you can see it here, but it's kind of like a dive mask. I'm scuba PADI certified, so it's as good a quality as some of the more expensive dive masks I've owned in the past. And here's a little side port where the hydration hose goes in. So $36, you can't beat it. And actually, my wife said initially when I told her I was had ordered a gas mask, she told me, you gotta stop spending money on this stuff. And then I told her about what it does and the purposes behind it, and that every Israeli citizen keeps them. And her next response was, "You only bought one?" So just so you know, I ordered one for the rest of the family. It's on the way, and actually the shipping gets cheaper. I think to ship 3 masks, it was $17. So I got hosed the first time around. But I wanted to make sure they were legit. I wanted to make sure it was good quality. Everything is brand new. Everything is great. The glass, which actually I think it's plastic or whatever it's made of, the lenses, never fogged at all for the half hour or so I had it on. And it was in the house probably about 73 degrees. So, maybe in different circumstances it might be an issue, but there's plenty of methods to prevent fogging. I won't get into that. Maybe that'll be a subject for another video, but I absolutely highly recommend these. And another thing I wimped out on and didn't buy and should have, because in the package, it just came in, well, I don't need to show it to you. It's just a clear plastic bag. And I should have bought, I think it was only I think it was like $9 for the water bottle, and maybe $5 to $9 for some sort of carry bag that has, I believe they said leg straps. So I guess you could strap it to your leg. It sounded kind of goofy to me at the time, but, for now, I'm going to keep it in the plastic that it came in and stick it in my bug out bag. Probably be adequate short term, but I would recommend, now that I know the company is legit. And by the way, I called and found out that the owner is former IDF soldier, Israeli Defense Forces. So they know their stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's probably more Russian than Israeli accent. Anyway, horrible accent. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed the heck out of making it. Anytime I get to model, it's a good thing. Not, but please like this video anyway, despite the modeling, and subscribe, and let's make this bad boy go viral, because you know what, there's a lot of people that need this. Read that article from the Washington Post. The statistics are not good. I'm not into fear-mongering. I'm into reality, and the reality is someday it's going to happen. Is it going to affect the whole country? Probably not. But you know what? I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That is my philosophy. Again, we don't know what's coming our way, but let's just be prepared. Until next time, God bless.